But yeah, all right, Alien Romulus. One, in the comments, have you seen it? I know based on the poll that I did, a lot of people said they were not going to see it this past weekend. I didn't either. I wanted to wait for it to die down a little bit. I've been doing that lately. Plus, the Cinemark by me, well, it's not by me, it's about 30 minutes. But they have $5 or $6 Tuesday movies, like any movie, anytime, all day, which I like. So me and the wife went and saw it today. It was my boy's first day in school, a new school. We homeschool in the past. Like, we've always homeschooled our kids. Now they're going to a school, and so it was the first day of that. So, you know, we dropped them off, cried for a bit, and then we went to the movies. And we went and saw Alien Romulus. I actually really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I did a quick letterbox review on it. Let me actually pull that up real quick, because kind of helps. Letterboxed. There we go. If it'll even get me in there. Yeah. So this is my quick review of Alien Romulus. So you can kind of check that out if you like, and follow me on Letterboxd as well. It's on my mind, but it's also like movies on my mind. Movies OMM, because that's what my podcast was called, and that's what this channel was actually called, Movies on My Mind at first, and I changed it. If you want to follow me there, go ahead and do so. I'm getting more active on there, so, you know, forgive me. But I enjoyed Alien Romulus. I did enjoy it. To Joe, the infant's question there, is it better than Prometheus? Yes and no. That's a tough one. Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I enjoyed both of those because you didn't know what was going to happen. There was a true mystery to everything. You knew where it was all going to lead eventually, but seeing kind of the beginnings of what was the person that was in the seat? The not adventurer, but the big, huge, tall guy that was in the seat in the very first movie that they see, you know, with the alien busted out of his chest, all that kind of stuff. You're seeing the beginning days of that, the early stages of that, and I thought that was awesome. But it was very much a mystery. This one is more like, and I say it there, it's Alien to a small degree. The tone of Alien is there, but the horror nature of Alien is not really in this movie. Aliens is definitely a big proponent of what you'll get from this from an action standpoint, in like the second act. And then Alien Resurrection, surprisingly, is what you get in mostly the third act of the movie. Where, you know, Alien Resurrection was more focused on cloning Ellen Ripley. It's Ellen, right? Ripley. And trying to, you know, get her back and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually creating, I don't want to give spoilers, but, you know, creating the thing at the end of that movie. Yeah, there's something like that here. That's all I'll kind of say. So yeah, so that was that was a little bit odd, but also was cool. The one thing that surprised me about Alien Romulus, though, again, it's Fede Alvarez. I thought he did great with the Evil Dead remake that he did. I think he also did Don't Breathe, the very first Don't Breathe movie, which was actually really good too. Sequel, not as good. But what he did with Evil Dead was I thought was fantastic. I actually really enjoy it. I do like Evil Dead Rise a lot as well. And this one, I feel like he played it safe. I feel like he played it kind of safe in this one, because he's just retreading a lot of things that we've already seen. So he doesn't tell anything new, doesn't try anything new. The characters in this one you don't care about nearly as much as like the characters from the very first Alien movie. Even Aliens, I feel like you get to know those characters more. This one is more just, you know, this is the character that, you know, is going to be annoying and is going to make, you know, inappropriate jokes. You know, this is a character who's supposed to be the hero. There's a character who is our hero. You know, it's normally always a female-led franchise here, which is fine. But it has all those same beats. But there's still some surprises in it, which I liked. But it's not scary at all. If you're trying to go to see Alien Romulus to watch a horror movie, at least for me, it wasn't scary at all. There's a lot of tension, a whole lot of tension that I liked. So it's a very tense movie, but it's not scary. Plus these characters in some crazy scenarios, but it's not scary at all. At the end of the day, it's the character's fault, because anytime these characters are doing stuff in these movies, it's like they're trying to do something and then eventually they get, you know, there's a point where they could have left and been safe and got out of there. And it doesn't happen because they're so, focused on acquiring this object or getting to this destination, whatever the case. And so they keep on trekking and then they get killed. It's the same thing here. So there's really nothing new. But again, it's very tension filled. I enjoyed that. But it was also, and I say it here, unnecessarily nostalgic. There were things that they brought back from other movies into this one that they didn't need to do. It could have just stood on its own, obviously in an already established IP, but it could have just stood on its own and done its own story, which it mostly does. But there's certain like callbacks to the first movie and the second movie, especially, again, also the third movie, that I thought weren't necessarily needed. If you want to just do a straight Alien Romulus film, you could have, just a straight Alien film. You could have just do it straight. Don't try to add all these different nostalgic moments to try to capture us, or help us connect to what's going on, because it really didn't work that way. There's only 2 characters in this one you care about. Kaylee Spaney, she plays Rain, and then I believe his name is David Johnson. He plays Andy, who is one of the Weyland-Yutani androids in this one. They're both very good, and their relationship is actually really cool too. But everybody else, what do they call it? Cannon fodder? They don't matter. They're integral to the plot, at least for sure. One character, Isabella Merced, her character is integral to the plot, mainly for what happens in the third act of the movie. But outside of that, it's most of the characters are forgettable. But I do think it should be seen on the big screen. If you're gonna go see it when it's still in theaters. Will it still be a good at-home watch? I'm sure, but it is a good one on the big screen. I just felt like the Xenomorphs didn't get as much, I don't want to say screen time, but like big moments that I was hoping for in this one. Which is kind of almost similar to how it is in Alien, because in Alien, the first movie, you barely see the Xenomorph, barely throughout most of the movie. This one, you do see them, but they don't get a lot of the kills and things that happen. You don't see them actually doing it, like save for like maybe 3 or maybe 2. So that was a little bit, I won't say annoying, but just I was hoping for more. So that was me. Aliens, I still think is one of the best. I like them all. I don't like the Alien versus Predator movies. I don't like those, but I might need to watch them again just to see if they are still as bad as they were back in 2004, which was the first one. I think the second one was 2006 or 7. I can't remember. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. But yeah, I was hoping for I don't know. I was just hoping for a bigger moment for the Xenomorphs. I was hoping for more of a connected story with at least most of the characters, not just the 2. And even theirs is still like, it's annoying in moments. Because the brother and sister dynamic that they have, and that can get annoying in certain scenarios. So I think that's why it's hard to answer that question as far as, is it better than Prometheus? Prometheus I liked in certain aspects, and then there was other aspects I didn't like. This one, there's a lot of things I like about it as far as Romulus, and there's certain things I would have changed or gotten rid of. But I'd also like to see them continue on in this way that they're doing it with these Alien movies. Because in case you didn't know, Alien Romulus is set after the first movie. So it's between Alien and Aliens, essentially, from what I understand. So it'd be cool to kind of see how other, Weyland-Yutani employees or whatever the case, however people are connected to this company, how they get involved with aliens or whatever else could be out there. That I liked. You don't necessarily have to connect it so hard with like having certain characters show up so that we know, oh, this is where this happens. But I did enjoy it. Again, if you've seen it, let me know in the comments what you thought. If you haven't, obviously I know a lot of you have said that you haven't. Again, the poll showed a lot of people were not seeing it this past weekend, so a lot of people are waiting, which, it's okay. There's definitely a different way they could have gone at some of the story, and some of the character moments is kind of where I was at with that. But overall, I had fun. The tone is great. The tone is really what brings the hype of what I was expecting from an Alien movie. The feel of the movie, the set design, the practicality of the set, the practicality of the Xenomorph that they use in this one. I enjoyed that as well. I do still think it's a good movie to go see in theaters. I think you still have a fun time.